What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Mastermind Creations Volatus. Volatus, by the way, is the Latin word for flight. So, that's cool. Hooray for languages, I guess? I don't know. It's probably a copyrighted thing to say. I'm sorry, Go. Anyhow. But yeah, so here's Volatus, and he is Mastermind Creations' take on Blastoff. And he's fun. He's fun. He's not, and I said this same thing about Swindle, the Mastermind Creations Swindle. He's not the most aesthetically appealing take on this character I've seen. In terms of Blastoff specifically, I've kind of got a little bit of a sweet spot for the Fans Project Blastoff. I thought was really well done. So he's not necessarily the most aesthetically appealing one, but he is really clever, and I like how they've integrated the hand parts into the mode, and it doesn't really affect the mode. It doesn't really affect, it doesn't really affect his robot mode. Aside from several people have complained that he doesn't really have ankle articulation. Well, he's got the same ankle articulation that Whirl did, which is if you unclip this joint right here, he can rotate his ankle at, mid shin, which isn't the nicest way to do it, but it is what it is. Ankle articulation, I think, is something that's good and useful and important for figures to have. But I don't know that I would simply be like, oh, this figure is absolutely the worst if it doesn't have ankle articulation, especially if there's engineering considerations that make it so that, yeah, maybe you wouldn't really have as much ankle articulation. I think maybe they could have put some sort of like a toe tilt in here. It's probably possible, but anyhow, there he is from the front, side, back. Cleans up nice. It's a decent little figure. In terms of accessories, he comes with his gun, which is just pretty simple affair. It plugs in, it's got a tab on the back of the handle, so it plugs into a slot on the back of the wrist, like so. Fold the hands around, and now he's got his gun, and he can shoot stuff. He also comes with an alternate head in his little sandwich baggie. This head takes after the toy mode, I believe. I never had a G1 Blastoff, unfortunately. And apparently on the toy mode, some designer wasn't sure what was a visor and what was a face, so they did the paint app on like the part right over his head instead of actually on his eyes. So that was like an error in the on the toy, and they recreated the error on this head here. And you can just take and yank that straight off and plop this straight on, like that. And so from a distance, it actually looks pretty damn good, actually. Like, you can definitely see this being his nose, and like these being his cheeks, I guess, and then like this coming down under his face, like he's trying to protect himself from the Rona. Anyhow, I'm going to leave this one on for the rest of it and put this back in its sandwich baggie. Anyhow, let's get into his articulation. So we'll take this out here. Head is on a ball joint, as you saw when I ripped his head off just a moment ago. So it tilts a little bit, looks down, looks up, goes all the way around. It's a ball joint. Arm goes all the way around, comes out to the full tree pose, bicep swivel at the bicep. He does have technically double jointed elbow, which allows him to bend quite a bit more than 90 degrees. Not quite touch your shoulder, but it's not bad. It's not bad. He also has a bend here. This is a transformation joint, but I mean, you can definitely, bend this to your will as a posability joint. Wrist rotates just fine. Thumb is on a ball joint, and then each finger is on their own hinge. He's got a gnarly case of typewriter fingers though, so it doesn't even look that great except in a fist, and maybe slightly open looking hand. I don't know. Waist rotation works just fine. His hips are all, his little skirt armors are all on flaps that come up and out. Leg goes forward on a nice little ratchet, goes back that much. There's a little bit of a double hinge in here for transformation. It's supposed to be out like that in the robot mode. Leg goes out for the full Van Damme. Actually, that's like 110% Van Damme. Dang. He's got rotation at the thigh. Technically a double jointed knee, but it doesn't really. This joint right here bends literally that much, this upper joint, and then you can bend it like that. But if you don't bend that upper joint at all, then you can bend that like that. And if it looks exactly the same, it's because it's basically exactly the same. So he's got ever so slightly more than 90 degrees if you bend that upper joint, and ever so slightly less than 90 degrees if you don't. So about 90 degrees. And then again, really nothing else. I did point out that mid shin joint, if that's what you're really keen about. You can move his toes up and down if you want to. But posability isn't bad. Like, I mean, if you forgive the lack of ankle articulation, you can still get him to pose around, and he doesn't look awful doing it. I think Unique Toys as individual figures nailed it pretty well. That's kind of the bar I hold Combaticons to ever since then. But yeah, great little figure. Let's get him into his shuttle mode. So, to put him in shuttle mode, I guess let's start at the top and work our way down. So you want to lift these panels up, kind of get them out of the way. You can I could have sworn that you could move them. So pull those panels up. You can start to move the head out of the way now. So you lift this head up, and then there's this joint right here. Pull this panel out. Rotate this all the way around. And then you want to open up this back part here. When you've got this back part open, you can flip up these little panels here. This gives you a place to stow the head. You want to take his little shark fin and split it open. The shark fin will come around, and it'll come right like this, and then you can tuck the ends of the shark fin in just beside his head. Well, I'm not quite ready to put that away yet. We want to leave this part open, because you want to you've got big old hinges here. You want to take and rotate these around. And so the issue that you're dealing with here is you've got this little gap right here is the same shape as this little triangle of tab on the side of this purple piece. So you have to bend this a bit to put that panel flush and then fold that in. And that's how that works. Make sure that's flush. And then you can just take this, bend this arm up like this, rotate this joint here, and then rotate it back. You can use this double elbow as like a double hinge to collapse that in on itself. Pull this down, rotate this around. And as you rotate this around, you're going to rotate that around. And then you can put this back up into place. And again, with the other side, bring this straight out, rotate it there, rotate this part. Then back at the bicep, double joint this down, fold down the hand, rotate this, and rotate the nose as you rotate the hand. Get that all into place. And then you've got tabs here, slots in here. Pull that together, tab that all in, and there's the front half of him all done. You can take these and kind of move that up halfway. So for the back legs, you want to open up these panels right here a bit. And you've got these tiny little sub panels. It's cool. So when these are out, they'll form a proper arch of the shuttle mode. But when they're folded in like this, you can fold these basically flat with each other. And that makes the robot mode, robot mode butt be more flat and less curvy. So he's less likely to get teased by the kids at school. Anyhow, so fold this up and out. Before we put this into position, let's work on his feet really quick. You want to unpeg, you can fold down the wing, but you can unpeg this panel right here, rotate that around. Leave that up for now. Again, unpeg, rotate, leave that up. You want to pull on this little thing here and pull this panel out. And then you want to break this leg at that joint that I told you about. You want to fold that. That'll give you room to pull this out and then close that back up. Pull this up, rotate the tail out, grab this and just yank on that until it's fully extended. This toe part here is going to come up and then bend around on the front of that toe. And then you've got this little tab that becomes apparent and this little slot here. And you'll just tab that into the slot just like that. Close this up. You've got a double hinge on this tail joint so that you'll just kind of take this and fold that into place. And then you want to do all of that. Actually, let's do some more cleanup here. Take this, fold this all the way around, close that up. And then take this panel here and bring that out. And that's one leg ready for the final assembly. Let's do that with the other side. So bring this up, bring this out, fold this down, split that leg right there, fold this out and around, close that back up, unpeg this, lift, bring that out and around, collapse that down. Grab the purple thing and yank. Close that. Bring the toe around and open. Boom. So now with all of this in place, you want to take and you want to make sure that these hips get collapsed into their shuttle mode. And there's some tabs on, there's a tab and slot system on the thigh. And they don't really tab together like super well. But there's enough tabs and enough redundancy and enough robustness to this that even if you only get most of them, it still works out pretty dang good. So get these all the way folded in. You can put this skirt armor down. There's a tab and a slot that'll take care of that. Make sure that these little tiny panels are folded out, and then when you put them together, push these together at the same time so that they meet right in the middle. You want to push this panel in so that these puzzle pieces come in to the right place, and then just fold that down. So puzzle pieces, fold that down. I didn't get that panel out. There we go. I've got the tail all stuck together. You want to get this to come down. And then this comes down. As you bring it down, you want to kind of pull it out. You've got this peg here is going to fight you, but you just kind of slide it around like so. This peg will actually plug into that tab right there. I guess if you really wanted to, you could bring that out and not put that in quite yet. And then bring that in to close over both of those. No, that doesn't, I don't like the way that feels at all. And there he is in his shuttle mode. Oh wait, I forgot one step. I forgot a step. It's actually a pretty cool step. Where did that hide? Here we go. It's down here. So if you take his gun, you can fold up this part here and then fold the barrel up like that. And then the back of his gun is this little peg here. And if you look inside there, on that side, there's a hole, and you can plug that into that hole. So you've got weapon storage. That's actually pretty clever weapon storage, I think. But there he is in his shuttle mode, and he looks pretty good. You know, not the most accurate thing to the U.S. space shuttle possible. Maybe even looks a little bit more like the Soviet Buran, but I'll leave that to somebody who knows more of what they're talking about than I do. It's just the configuration of engines isn't like it is on the space shuttle. Of course, it's not like it is on the Buran either, so whatever. Pretty swanky. It's pretty clean on the bottom. I've actually been impressed with the underside of all of these Ocular Max Combaticons so far, that they end up being pretty clean on the bottom. So he does have landing gear. You can pull these panels out and then push this little panel out. And he's got little rolling plastic wheels, and he sits and he rolls, and he looks pretty decent doing it. But yeah, that's basically it for this figure for now. I know he's got his combined mode, but I'm going to get to the combined mode when I get to the combined mode. So, dual barrel roll. Anyhow, that's it for me. Thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Yeah, you guys are the reason the channel sticks around. I mean, I definitely like shooting these videos for the sake of shooting the videos, but my channel has grown a lot in the last year, and you guys are all to thank for it. So thank you. Anyhow, everybody, stay awesome and be good to each other. Catch you later. Bye. Oh, that wasn't the...